Johnny Crunch. This is the Movie Crunch with Johnny Bunch, and we are on week 2 of the Infinity War countdown. This week we have the Incredible Hulk. Now, this is honestly one of the weakest in their entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love Edward Norton, but this is honestly probably one of the worst movies he's ever done. Maybe Stone, that was pretty bad too. But I really, ever since this came out and I heard about what happened, I'm so curious as to what a Incredible Hulk movie controlled by Edward Norton would have been like, instead of him quitting and then replacing with Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo, although I feel like is a better Hulk than Edward Norton anyways. So maybe it's a good thing it happened. As far as the movie goes, this, it'll keep you entertained for the first 60%. Like the first 60%, it runs like a really good, solid movie. They get the origin of how he becomes the Hulk out in the opening credits, which is awesome. So you don't have to go through all that Eric Bana and Lou Ferrigno bullshit again. And then we get to the last 30% of the movie where Tim Roth turns into a giant blood-craved monster whose head looks a lot different than his body. It was too crammed. There was too much happening in the last 25% of the movie. The Abomination, who is the villain in this, just a terrible throwaway villain, honestly. They're like, how do we have the Hulk face the Hulk? They're like, well, let's just make an Abomination. So then they fight, and guess who wins? Oh, the Hulk wins. I feel like William Hurt was a really good antagonist on the other side, not the physical side, more the mental, and trying to trap the Hulk. Did a really nice job. Didn't really care for Tim Roth as the villain in this. I wish that Tim Blake Nelson was in more of the Marvel Universe. You see him get changed into the start of a new superhero whose name escapes me right now. I knew it earlier today, but not right now. So, you're going to watch 16 Marvel movies that have been released. You're going to get some bad ones. This is honestly most likely the worst. There might be some more when I rewatch them. We'll see if there's any that take the cake further than this, because honestly the first half of this movie, a little more than half of this movie, was watchable and decent as far as these superhero movies go. And before this, there really wasn't anything that great. Remember, Dark Knight wasn't released until maybe a month or two after this, when it came out in 2008. So Incredible Hulk, worth a watch. I feel like the Hulk has gotten better throughout the Avengers movies. I don't know if I could handle another solo Hulk movie, but, they might get there eventually. I kind of like him paired up with other superheroes, personally. And just finding villains for him, I mean, that's got to be kind of tough. Because he's one of the strongest. Not going to get into it right now. But basically what I'm saying is, week 2, we've done it. If you're counting down with me, this is number 2. We got about 14 more weeks to go, and that's going to set up our bracket challenge that we're going to be starting later in the week. Still have to set that board up, and we're going to see which is my favorite superhero movie. We'll see if you agree or disagree, but we're going to have a bracket breakdown for every Marvel movie until the new ones are released. So stay Marvel, stay marvelous, and have a good one.